Look at all this drive-by traffic. This is where my new car dealership is at. This is where we're getting our dealer's license at. This is starting a dealership from scratch. Under a $5,000 budget, can you start a car dealership? Can you get your dealer's license for under $5,000? In our first video, I showed you what I was up to for the past year. In our second video, we went shop hunting. We found a location on the real cheap. We are staying within our budget. And in today's video, we're gonna go through the state requirements as well as how to set up your business and get a tax identification number. Is it better to do an LLC, an S-Corp, a sole proprietorship, a C-Corp? And then how do you get a tax ID number with the IRS? Well, it's all easier than you might think. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. I'm loving this series and I hope you guys are too. Let's get going. It feels good to be back in the hustle. I wanted to slow things down and I did for a year. Now I'm gonna get back into it because quite honestly, I missed that cashola. I missed those $100 bills in my hand. Now in my last video, I showed you my shop. So let me give you a run through of what we've been up to. We went to our town hall. The town hall sent us to our DMV. The DMV sent us to our regional office where I've been calling the regional inspector, trooper, officer every single day without a text back, without a call back, without an email, nothing. He has not responded since our last video, which has been over a week. So like probably 8 days of phone calls, no answers yet. We're gonna call him again in this video. But I did find the location because the requirements, which we'll go over in a minute, require inside storage, office space, and there I am, a bathroom. Now this spot is tight. I have space for one car. I'm gonna have to put a lift in just so I can go up in the air and get 2 cars in here. I have a Z3, which we'll see later in this video, which I think I might be able to fit in here if I move this table, but we have to sell everything off. I'm gonna call him my partner in most of my videos. The partner that owned this garage owns all of these parts, and he's been out of town for a month. So although there are people that are interested in buying all of these Honda parts, he's out of town to meet up with them, so we still have a lot of Honda parts. Now let's talk about parking real quick. Parking is obviously important. If you own a car dealership, you need to have as many vehicles as possible. Now, what you'll see here is 1, 2. So I have a line here, and I have a line there, and I'm allowed to fit things in between here. Now over here we have a Honda Element, my boat, 2, 3, 4, 5 Honda Elements. So we have 5, 6-ish spaces here. So 6 spaces, and then 7, 8, and then 9, 10, if I can squeeze a second car in there with the left. So roughly 10 spaces. Now the idea here is to do everything on a budget. One of my favorite things that I love to do with this channel is show you that things are realistic. You just have to figure out how to make it happen, Captain. All right, you can do it. I wanted a Ferrari. I only had $400. I took $400. I legit ended up with a Ferrari. I showed you that it can be done. It took me a year and a half, but it can be done. A dealership, yeah, I could throw $50,000 at a lot and fill it up with cars. I don't want to. I want to see if we can start one for under $5,000. So yeah, I found some bigger, better places. But why did I end up with this place? Well, number one, we're starting with $5,000. So I can't be throwing first, last, and deposits down on properties that are 2, 3 grand a month. We're already over budget. So I was able to find this place, paid the first month, didn't have to pay a last month and didn't have to pay a deposit. So at $1,000 a month, and I'm sharing it with someone, I was able to cut my costs significantly. Now we are only $500 into this venture so far invested. Now, if we figure it takes 3 months to get our license, it's only $1,500 in payments. And I've been tinkering around and using the shop for work anyway. Now, yes, you do need a retail license to sell retail, to sell to the public. But that doesn't stop you from doing auto repair, from doing auto detailing, from setting up your business so you have an official business. You just can't sell yet. But there are plenty of ways you can conduct business and make money and be profitable before actually getting your license. I just named 3 of them. Not to mention, while you have space like this, there are other things that don't require titles for you to be able to buy and sell. Four-wheelers, dirt bikes, that boat, the boat trailers. We can talk about golf carts. All those things do not require titles, so you can buy and sell those as long as it takes to get your license and still kind of make a profit on the side until your license comes in and you can get into those auctions and start making real money. Hey, since 89.9% of my demographic is male, this one is for the boys. Actually, it's for the boys, and the ladies are going to appreciate this too. Check this out. Inside this discreet bag is this right here. This right here is Ro Sparks. Ro wants to normalize the conversation of things like this. Now you put this tablet under your tongue, and because it dissolves under your tongue, it hits your bloodstream faster, and let's just say everything will get bigger, harder, faster, and longer. This little pill right here has the same active ingredients that are found in both Cialis and Viagra. Now with Ro, you can go to their website, you can apply 100% online, and you fill out some questions, and then within days, a discreet package shows up at your door. It helps to increase performance and is designed to help men get harder and last longer, again, up to 36 hours, meaning multiple rounds. If you can improve anything, why not go for it? Try Ro Sparks and have yourself a lot of fun. So thank you to Ro for sponsoring this video. Connect with a provider at ro.co/flying wheels to find out if prescription Sparks are right for you. If prescribed, new patients get $15 off your first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. There is a link in my description. Guys, if you've ever thought about it, go to ro.co/flying wheels and try this stuff out for yourself. Good luck and have fun in that bedroom. Now I showed you the busy traffic. Obviously, this is a warehouse or commercial space or industrial space or flex space. Those are all keywords you can look up when you're looking for a unit for yourself. Just storage is probably not the one that would work for you. And now that we have a commercial location, we could register our business. But what you'll notice is I have no mailbox. So we have a physical address, but we don't have a mailing address. So I'm going to show you in the next scene how to get a mailing address, which quite honestly is very simple. And I'm going to show you in a minute why and how I do what I do and the way I do it. Now, I don't want really anything going to my house. I don't want to have to write my home address on anything. I don't want to have things shipped to my door. And really, I don't want people to be able to look up my address online, even though I know there's people out there that will, which is scary. I don't want my info out there. So I'm going to show you how to protect yourself, how to protect your business, and then get yourself an actual physical address, even if you don't have one. Now, I told you we're going to go over the state requirements. I am in Florida, but most of the states are pretty similar, and you'll be able to find yours pretty simply too. We showed you how to do that in episode 1, and then I'm going to show you now online. So if I do a quick Florida state dealer requirement Google search, it comes up with AI. To obtain a Florida motor vehicle dealer's license, you must complete an approved vehicle licensing course, which they provide for you in my state. Secure a permanent business location, which we just did, with sufficient office and display space. Now, you don't have to have like an actual physical box with an office. My first unit, I taped a 10 by 10 literal piece of tape on the floor and put a desk in that tape, and that was my office, and that sufficed. Obtain a federal employee identification number, which we will do in this video, which is an FEIN or a tax ID number or an EIN, employee identification number. All three of those are the same, or a proof of ID for sole proprietor, which we'll explain that in a minute. Got a Florida sales tax number, obtain a $25,000 surety bond, and secure garage liability insurance. Now, if I look here, a permanent structure, the dealership must be in a permanent building, not a residential home or trailer, unless the trailer is anchored to the ground. For office space, you need a minimum of 100 square feet of office space with 7-foot ceilings. So like I said, my first unit, I taped off a 10 by 10 spot on the floor and put a desk in there, and that was my office. Display space is sufficient space to display vehicles, must be under the dealer's exclusive control and easily accessible to customers. Now, I had told you it can't be fenced in like public storage. That's private. It needs to be open to the public. And then an inspection. A compliance examiner will inspect the location to ensure it meets the requirements. So we're going to give him a call right now, and then I'm going to explain how to get an address that's not your home. Okay, so we're going to give my state examiner a call right now.
Sorry. Tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey there, my name is Craig. I'm in Stewart. I was hoping to hook up with you sometime next week, see if you're available to check out a commercial property. Before I sign a lease on it, I wanted to make sure it qualifies for, guys, near impossible to get a hold of. I've been trying and just can't get a hold of him. So we'll wait once again, and then I'll call the office Monday. I might have to go down there. I don't know what to do next. I'm just going to keep calling until it finally works out. So I told you I don't have a mailing address here. I'm going to show you how you can get a mailing address and honestly register your business with a physical location, not a P.O. box, in the next scene. Now, I had told you get a business address, like a physical address without actually having one. And the trick is, anybody can do this right there. Find yourself a local UPS store or like a mailboxes, etc. Something like that will give you an address. For example, this one is 2740, has an actual address, and you can see it has real mailboxes. As you can see, I just got my business mail. I have a physical address for anybody that needs to send me packages. Now, the difference between a physical address at like a UPS store, a mailboxes, etc., versus a post office box, a P.O. box, can only accept mail. So you can't get FedEx deliveries, you can't get UPS deliveries, you can only get post office box mail, and you can't use the post office address for a physical location because it's a federal is it a business? I don't know, it's federal. So you can't use their address as your business address. Versus this, is actually a business address. It is commercially zoned. So you have a commercially zoned business address to register everything for. If you don't want people sending things to your house, if you want to have an actual business without having an actual physical location, this is the trick. That's how you do it. Versus a P.O. box at the post office. Now you'll see this is P.O. box, let's say 1493. You cannot get UPS boxes, you cannot get FedEx boxes, you can't get any other packages other than post office mail packages, but it has to be through the post office. You also can't use a post office box, a PO box, as a physical location, because I think it's a federal location. I'm not sure what the rule is, but you can't use it as a physical location versus like a mailbox, etc., or a package store, or a UPS store, a FedEx store. Those ones allow you to use that physical address. So like 123 Main Street, number 71. That would be like your unit 71. That's kind of the loophole of having like a UPS box or mailbox at a physical location at another store. You're using their physical commercial address instead of the post office, which you're not allowed to do. So when I register this business later on today, I am going to use the mailing address as the UPS store. I also have some realty companies and a few other businesses and even some properties that are in LLCs that are registered at a physical location at other stores like FedEx stores and mailbox, etc. stores instead of my home, because I don't want everything registered, me as a registered agent on an LLC with my home address for everybody to go find. You want a little bit of privacy. I mean, if people want to find you, they're going to find you, but you don't want to make it easy. All right, let's go back to my office and I'm going to teach you how to register your business. Differences between LLC, S-Corp, C-Corp, sole proprietorship, how to get your tax ID or EIN, and then also your sales and use tax, at least in Florida. New Hampshire doesn't have any sales tax, and then other states have different rules too. We're going to go through that in the next clip. So before we dive into registering the business, setting all that up, welcome to what we call the murder condo. This is a series coming up after dealer license, so we're going to probably be in like a hold on the dealer series after this video, and then we're going to jump into the foreclosure home, the waterfront foreclosure home, and this right here, which is our murder condo. So I bought this place at auction for back dues on like HOA dues, and it needed a full rehab. I mean, it was completely furnished. So this is coming up in a different series. We bought a piece of property from a tax lien from the county. Then comes our waterfront foreclosure auction house, and then this is, we bought it from an HOA deed and it needed some love. But the reason I'm showing you this is because I don't have a lot of parking. We discussed this. So it comes with parking here and parking there. The only thing is it's an HOA, and HOAs, to be quite honest with you, are absolutely awful. So even though this is covered, it has to be registered. So somebody, a rule follower, which I don't follow rules very well, a rule follower went and touched my property, lifted the car cover to make sure it was registered, found it wasn't registered, and now is making me move it. So I need to remove this car from the property. And then even though there's a golf course right there, we can't have golf carts in our community. So no golf carts allowed. So I have to remove the golf cart too. This is actually a 2025 golf cart. I had talked about, until you have your dealer's license, what you can sell. This doesn't have titles. I don't need a title to sell these things. So I've been buying them brand new from wholesalers, and I'm able to sell them to people, and they've been buying them. So this will be my fourth golf cart, which is awesome. I can buy and sell them, make some money on them, and they're easy. People pay cash for them because they don't have to finance them. It's a toy, and they go. That's it. But the only problem is I can't park this or this here now, which is a real problem for me. So now I need to figure out how to find 2 more parking spots, which I don't really have right now. So this is becoming a problem with owning a dealership on a budget. I've said it in other videos, like back up in New Hampshire, I have unlimited parking. Literally as many cars as I want. I have no problem finding spots for them. Versus here, I have currently 3 spots, and that's it, 4 spots. And whatever I can use at home, and then I have these 2. And I can't use them anymore, so I don't know what to do. I call this the murder condo because 2 people were shot in here. Crazy, wild. And what's kind of neat is we found these are all first edition books. So one I think is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. There's some really old books in here which were kind of neat. Down there as well. Found a treasure chest down there. So this will be an upcoming video coming out probably in 4 or 5 videos from now. It did not look like this when we first bought it. So we have to get this out of here and we're gonna bring it home, park it in my driveway for now. What do you think this is? I want you to tell me in the comments what kind of car it is. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What kind of car is this? Tell me in the comments down below. I'm curious to see who can guess. Don't cheat because I'm going to pull the cover off right now. Here we go. For anybody that guessed BMW Z3, congratulations. Good eye. This is an upcoming project too. It's a 70,000 mile 1998 BMW Z3 6-cylinder with a 5-speed manual transmission, and it is rough. Haven't touched it yet. This is how it showed up. You're going to see us bring this thing back to life at some point in our new shop. Let's see if it starts. I have to say, 70,000 miles, 5-speed manual transmission, it's rough. This car is the roughest Z3 I've probably ever seen, but mechanically, it runs great, it drives great, it brakes great, there's no check engine lights on. It is rough looking, but it is excellent running. This is a score. I can't wait to rebuild this one. All right, so just a quick Google search to explain the difference between an LLC and an S-Corp. I want to explain what, first of all, a sole proprietorship is, which I wouldn't recommend. Sole proprietorship. Now, everything I'm going to tell you right now, I would highly suggest speaking to a tax advisor to explain how you should do it, or an attorney. I will tell you how I do it. But when it comes to taxes and when it comes to business registration, it might be different for you, it might be different for your state, so be careful. Now, I can absolutely tell you, don't do it as a sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is a business owned and run by one person, creating no legal distinction between the owner and the business. Essentially, I'm using my social security number, my name, and I'm selling everything, collecting it for me, in my name. My bank account is in my name, and then I pay taxes in my name. If anything happens, you are held liable. So if somebody sues, they're suing you personally. Now, what you'd want to do is go, let's do S-Corp versus LLC, because they're pretty similar. An LLC is a legal business structure offering flexibility and pass-through taxation by default, while an S-Corp is a federal tax election that an LLC or C-Corp can make to save on self-employment taxes. Now, Flying Wheels is an S-Corp. We're going to do an S-Corp again. An LLC, limited liability company, basically just gives you a little bit of a limitation, so it separates you by 1 degree. An S-Corp is its own corporation, its own entity. So if somebody sues Flying Wheels, they're suing Flying Wheels, they're not suing me. Like, they're not going to sell, if somebody slips and falls in Walmart, they're not going to sue Sam Walton, they'll sue Walmart. You want to separate yourself, give yourself your identity and your business its own identity as well. So we're going to go for an S-Corp. So in Florida, now I have already registered myself with the UPS box or the FedEx box or the mailboxes, etc. It's a fairly simple process. It takes 15 minutes. You can probably even do it online and get your own mailing address so things aren't mailed to your house. Now let's go to, in Florida, it's sunbiz.org. From here, it's as simple as starting a business. So an LLC, profit corporation, we're going to be a profit corporation, and we are going to file or correct profit articles of incorporation. Now, I'm going to do all this on my own. I'm not going to do it on video. You can figure it all out. Use your address. You can search business names. So if we go to Division of Corporations, you can even go search records. We can go to start a business, general information, types of business structure. So this will even explain what we just went through, corporations, LLCs. It's telling you everything I just told you in more detail if you want to look at it. It's the same in any state. So LLC, S-Corp, C-Corp, it's an IRS taxation. It's a way that the IRS distincts you. So it's not based on Florida or New Hampshire. It's universal across the country. So let's just search records. We can look up business names, so we can look up names. So let's say I want to look up Flying Wheels. So we're going to look up Flying Wheels to see if it's been taken. Flying Wheels, search. Flying Wheels LLC is active. Somebody took my name. How dare they? Flying Wheels Media is me. Somebody has my name. Unbelievable. In West Palm. What the heck, Kamal? They freaking stole my name, and they started in 2023. That's on me. That's my fault. What's Flying Wheels Corp? Flying Wheels Corp is inactive. You can see that it's been dissolved out of Miami, and they started in 2013. Freaking imitators. That one has been around and closed, but Flying Wheels LLC is, ooh, you son of a gun. Nala and Abraham or whatever, Kamal. You knew what you were doing. All right, so anyway, I showed you how to search for your own business name. Keep searching until you find the one you like. That's the name you're gonna use. You're gonna use your address. You're gonna use the business address or the FedEx address, the UPS address. So now we're gonna go to irs.gov. And from irs.gov, this is how we're going to get our EIN number, our employee identification number, or a tax ID number. Now, this is for every business. It doesn't have to be a car dealership. So we're going to look at the bottom, and it says apply for an employer identification number, an EIN number. You follow the steps. You use your business information. It is free. Now, you'll pay your state for your business name, but the tax ID is free. From there, like we have a sales and use tax, so we can write and type in Florida
sales and use tax, and it comes up. I can apply for Florida sales and use tax. Now this makes me sales tax exempt. If I buy anything for a car that I'm going to sell, or if you're a painter and you buy paint that you're going to paint on a house, you are exempt from paying sales tax on those items that you're going to resell and eventually collect sales tax. So you want this. You will also be responsible for collecting sales tax for your customers, so you can apply for a Florida sales and use tax or a sales and use tax for your own state on your state's website. This is also free. Once you have all this information, you can then get insurance, you can then get a surety bond, and you can reach out to your state and submit your application with your appropriate fees and get your dealer's license. Now, I've shown you how to start your business, find your location. We are kind of in like this road where we're just gonna sit and wait now. We've registered the business. I'm going to submit my application this week, and we just wait. We wait for the state to call me, I wait for the inspector to call me and approve me or decline me, and then from there, I'm going to take a class, and then once I take my class, we're gonna get plates. So that is kind of how simple. Like, it's gonna be 4 or 5 episodes, and I'll have my dealer's license, which is pretty amazing. Now you'll see I'm in an office, and then I have like furniture all over the place, and even the yard is a mess. This right here is a continuation of my house series. So we bought the piece of property that we're gonna put a duplex on. I showed you how to buy tax liens. In the next series, we're going to work on foreclosure homes. Can you get my wife in the background? This house did not look like this when we bought it from the bank. It's very, very different, but here's what, hopefully you can see it. That right there, it's still under construction. That right there goes to the ocean. So we have waterfront property that we bought from the auction that needed to be completely demoed, gutted. A hoarder lived here. There was stuff everywhere. It is a complete transformation from what you're seeing even right now. That is going to be the start of our next series. I'm going to teach you how to buy foreclosure homes from the bank and from the state at auction. Buy them at discount so you're not paying retail on homes. That's our next series. Thanks for watching this one. We'll continue our dealer series when I have some updates. Thumbs ups are appreciated. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see y'all later.